What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here. Hopefully, you guys are having a good Sunday, enjoying the weekend. I'm ready to get this thing rolling, but obviously saw the news. With Tyron Smith possibly not returning. If Adam Schefter says it, it's must be true. So just wanted to get into that before we get rolling. Just please make sure you guys hit that subscribe. We got a lot of great shows coming up. We got a lot of great content for the Cowboys. So if you're new to the channel, one, I appreciate it. But two, if you're checking it out, hit that subscribe. That way you don't miss anything. Drop videos, during the week. Sometimes we do our live shows on Monday, Thursday, and we've got some great stuff coming up. And that is hopefully our man Dave Campo, Coach Campo, is feeling a little bit better. And we're going to get him on earlier this week. And then we've got Kevin Gogan, Big Nasty. He's going to be coming into the cave as well on Thursday live. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. So make sure you guys, you hit that like, subscribe, and share. So appreciate that. But really just wanted to get into the Tyron Smith, conversation. Obviously the news, and if Adam Schefter says it, it's got to be true, right? That the Cowboys are going to move on from Tyron Smith and not re-sign him. So I always like reading. I'm a troll when it comes to Twitter and some of these social media, just hearing what people say. And it's always interesting. It's like when Tyron Smith was here, everyone was dog him, for being hurt all the time. And why do we have him? We got to move on. So we drafted Tyler Smith, who, we thought was going to be the heir apparent to Tyron. And, he's played great at left guard. And has done a tremendous job. So we always figured that'll be the heir apparent. Well, maybe the time is now. And looking at Tyron, had a really good, solid year last year. Made, second team All Pro. First time he's made the All Pro since 2016. But you just got to look at the history. He's played 13 games last year, played 4 the year before, 11 year before that, 2 the year before that, 13, 13, 13, and 13, and played a full season since 2015. So it really comes down to dollars and cents, right? And I hear, well, this proves the Cowboys aren't all in. Just relax. Just wait till the free agency kind of starts up. If they do nothing in free agency, then you know what? I got to believe it. But if Tyron Smith is looking for a larger deal, then I don't know if it's the best thing for the Cowboys. I mean, if he wants to do a team friendly deal, kind of like what he did last year, where he was his contract was incentive based on time played and this and that. I mean, I would be all for signing Tyron, and I'm not against signing him now. It's just obviously it has to make sense, and I don't want the signing to be at the detriment of getting some free agents that we need on the defensive side of the ball. So I guess that's where I'm at a wait and see approach. I'm not gonna, get all crazy and start bashing them yet. I'm just gonna kind of sit back. When free agency starts, I want to see what they're doing. You could have a line of Tyler moving him out to left tackle, which was the plan, but he's done guard, so I don't know what they're going to do there. But if you did, let's say you had Tyler at left tackle, Bass, who they're high on and played well, in the limited opportunities he had, going to guard. Biotish, I think, is going to be gone. I think they'll end up drafting a center there. And then obviously you got Zach Martin, who's the anchor, but he's getting some tread on the tires. And then you've got Steele at right tackle. Hopefully he bounces back from his injury, did not play well last year. But hopefully he regains the form of the 2 years previous before the injury. And it can be a solid right tackle. So I'm not as panicked. I think a lot of us have that, kind of vision of the old days when Tyron wasn't playing. We were pretty much doomed and we'd lose. And we all go back to that Falcon game. And I witnessed it where I think it was Chaz Green got sacked, gave up like 7 sacks and ended up making who were the Falcon, the DN, ended up getting him a big contract out of it. So anyway, those are the kind of things that I think we're past that. I think McCarthy's done a good job. I think the offensive line has done a good job, coach, surviving without Tyron, because we've been without him for a long time, the last 4 years, and or even just say the last 3 years, and we've kind of seemed to survive. We've been 12-5. Now, got to get the playoff stuff going. So anyway, I'm not as panicked. I'm not as upset. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Would love to get your your opinions and definitely thoughts. I think there's obviously there's a lot of tension with the Cowboy fan base, and believe me, we talk about it on our shows all the time, and I feel it, and I'm the same way. But on this one, I just want to wait and see. I want to see what he signs for. What did it really, what it would have really cost us? And again, it's not the end of the line. It's just he's going to be someone's going to pick him up. Obviously, I think the Chiefs. I think Washington's got a lot of money. I think there's some teams out there, and when Tyron Smith is playing, he's one of the best left tackles in the NFL still. So it's just a matter of availability. It's a matter of do the Cowboys really want to go in? He's near the end of his career. Do they want to get someone in place now and kind of get this thing rolling? So I get it. I'm not, like I said, I'm hard on Jerry Jones and this organization sometimes when it comes to the free agents and signing and spending money, but I'm not going to kill him on this one. I'm going to kind of wait and see what the plan is and really see what they do in free agency. To me, when we talk about changing the culture and we talk about trying to get different guys in, I mean, sometimes you're gonna have to make some tough decisions of the guys who've been here for a while and just kind of move on from them and get some new blood in here. And maybe the new blood will bring in some new juice. We'll bring in, some different type of leadership. So again, I'm just going to kind of wait and see what happens. But Tyron, I mean, Hall of Fame career. I mean, great Cowboy. This kind of gives me a little bit of, feeling of DeMarcus Ware when he left. I mean, he obviously Hall of Fame career with the Cowboys, had a couple injuries. They didn't know if he had much left in the tank, so they went ahead and released him. He ends up going to Denver, puts together a few more good years, and wins a Super Bowl. Selfishly, I hope that doesn't happen to Tyron. I hope the Super Bowl comes to Dallas, and if he's not on the team, then he's not going to be able to get it. But I do wish him the best. I think he's got a few years left, but again, I just don't know if the risk reward is there with his injury. I mean, even my wife, I was telling her, yeah, I'm going to do a quick recording. And she goes, what happened? I said, well, I think Tyron Smith's gone. And she's like, oh, he's not coming back. I was like, yeah. I said, people, not feeling good about it. She goes, well, isn't he like hurt all the time? So that's my wife saying that. So she's not even a huge Cowboys fan, or I should say a football fan. And she kind of knew that just from the name. So again, it's not a knock on him. It's just maybe it's time. And maybe a fresh face. And maybe it's time if they want to move Tyler over to left tackle. Maybe it's time for some new blood. He's been phenomenal draft pick for us. Cowboys have always drafted pretty well on the offensive line. If you look at some of the mock drafts, and we'll get in all the draft stuff later, they have them. There's a lot of them that have them taking a tackle in the first round. So maybe they see this as a tackle deep draft, or where they can get someone they've got their eye on in the early rounds to be that heir apparent. So I'll just wait and see what happens. But more importantly, uh, appreciate all the support to the channel. Make sure you guys do hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the share, all that kind of stuff. We're going to be talking a lot of defense and culture coming up with the Cowboys. I played a reel of Jerry Jones talking about culture. He doesn't really seem to think there's much of a culture problem, but when you're the top guy and you're kind of the facilitator of some of the culture issues we have, of course you don't see it being a problem. And I think culture is an interesting thing because it's how do you define it? And to me, the culture is really on the players being accountable to themselves. And we talked about that with like a lot of the team of the 90s, and there was more pressure internally within them to do their job, and if they miss a tackle, what they're going to hear from their teammates or drop a pass. That's when that's where I really talk about the culture of accountability. So yeah, it doesn't have so much to do with Jerry, but it really starts with him, because the culture he can create of accountability is when some of these guys aren't doing the right thing, not really make a joke about it, make someone pay the price for it, and send a message to your other players on the team that that type of behavior, this type of play is not going to be accepted. It's the old thing with Jimmy Johnson. He cut Curvin Richards after fumbling a couple times in a meaningless game against the Bears. did it hurt? You know, he cut him. I mean, if Emmitt Smith fumbled the last couple times in a meaningless game, he's not going to cut Emmitt Smith, but it's sending a message. And I don't care what the player is, it sends a message to the other teammates that, you know, we got to do our job, man. Nothing's guaranteed and nothing's secure. So I think that's for me, that's kind of the culture of accountability that I think is missing. And again, we've given examples with Jerry and some of the comments he says when guys get in trouble for speeding or guys get in trouble for this or that. He tends to make a little bit of a joke about it. So that's, if you see that at the top, then why would you care if you're just a player? I mean, hey, I'll get in trouble. Owner doesn't really care. He's not going to do much about it. So I'm just going to do my thing. So I think that's some of the culture issue that he has that comes down to the players. But I think the players can create the culture. I think McCarthy can. I think it could start within them. And I always say win in spite of Jerry. I think that's what the Cowboys need to do. Because he's always going to be in the headlines. He always wants to be in the headlines. And now see how much he likes being in the headlines with a paternity test that I guess he's got to take. So that's not the best news you want to be in. But he says, you know, any news is good news if they're talking about you or talking about the Cowboys. So here, you got what you wanted. So let's see how that works out. So anyway, I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share. Give me your feelings on Tyron Smith. Obviously, been a great Cowboy for a long, long time, been a staple on our offensive line. I've got the Great Wall 2 picture in the cave with Tyron, with Zach, and with Travis, and it's like, man, they're all going away. I mean, Zach's the last one left, and but like I said, maybe it's time, some new blood there, get things going and see what happens. But again, I appreciate it. Thank you. Hope to see you guys live Monday. And then again, we might be packed with shows this week. If Coach Campo's feeling better, we're going to try and get him on Tuesday, Wednesday, if he's up to it. And then obviously we got Kevin Gogan coming into the cave on Thursday, unfiltered. He's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time. Might have a little giveaway. Might have something during the show. So make sure you guys tune in to check that out. It could be an opportunity to pick up something pretty damn cool. So I will see you guys. Have a great Sunday, great rest of the day, and talk to you soon.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.